Yo, welcome back to another Division 2 video. I hope you guys are enjoying the content on the channel. If you are, make sure you smash 100 plus likes onto this video. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and a bell notification so we can get to 10k subscribers, man. My character is looking at the brick wall because she's tired of the game, but guess what? I'm not tired of it, so I'm controlling her. Okay, that did sound a bit mad, but listen, let's dive into what we're speaking about today. So previously I did a video on, I think it was a 511 brand set, just talking about how it can be improved, what sort of things could be added to the brand set, etc. So every week I might just do this. In the comment section, let me know what you want me to cover, what you think needs improving in the game, and I might just cover it. So today we're going into this gear set, which is Tip of the Spear. I actually don't have any of these pieces in my stash or on my character. That's why I'm going to the crafting bench to show you guys what this thing actually does and why I think that it needs to be, maybe changed or just removed out the game and replaced for something else. Tip of the Spear, what does it actually do? 2 pieces gives you 10% signature weapon damage. Now, you might be asking, what does signature weapon damage mean? Some of you might be new to the game. Our specializations that we use on our builds, the weapons, for the firewall, flamethrower, for the demolitionist, the grenade launcher, the gunner specialization, it comes with a minigun, and for the technician it comes with this launcher. So this is the weapons, and basically it's going to be increasing damage on them weapons by 10%. So that's what 2 pieces of Tip of the Spear does. Now let me kind of go into depth on why I think this is useless right now in the game. So a lot of us PvP, shout out to my PvP players, man, big you guys up. This 2 piece, which is giving us the damage for the signature weapon, is not going to help us in the dark zone. From what I know, from what I remember, I haven't used this gear set in a very long time, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is very important. Do correct me if I'm wrong. In the dark zone, you can't use special ammo with the demolitionist, etc, etc. That's what people were using before. I remember going into the dark zone and someone just blowing me up with a grenade launcher. One tap, boom, our whole squad is out. And they're clapping on our body, everything. So I don't think this gear set works that way as it used to in the dark zone, but as I said, correct me if I'm wrong. So this 2 piece here for me, for the PvP based, is useless because you're not going to be able to use this in the dark zone, in PvP, etc. The only way this can be, say quite useful is in conflict, when you get the special ammo drop. If you're not a conflict player and you just want to PvP in the dark zone like me, I'm categorizing it for them people, then this gear set is just not useful at all. And to me it just really isn't, because I don't play conflict a lot. I go in there sometimes, but I don't play it a lot. Also, I just want to say, what would you prefer to do when you're playing PvP, when you're playing PvE, when you're going up against NPCs and all that sort of stuff? Do you just want to straight use a signature weapon for the whole mission? I don't know, some of you might want to, but for me, I want to shoot my gun. I want to use my skills. I want to try different things out. I want to use different builds. I don't want to be focused on one thing throughout my whole build, a signature weapon. That's just not how I see it. On top of that, you're going to have to get the ammo from the NPCs and all of that, and you're going to be losing out on a lot of things on your build that you could be going towards. Things like crit chance, crit damage, all of that sort of stuff, status effects. So a green set would come with one attribute of 10% critical hit damage, for example, but it's not going to come with another piece. So you're losing out on a lot of things, and to just focus on one thing, a signature weapon for 10% damage, it does baffle me in my head a lot. And I feel like having a Tip of the Spear build for PvE, cool, you might love it, you might like it, some of you might like it, so I respect that, I do respect that. But for the main base of the game, the meta, the things that's going to help you a lot in this game, there's not a lot of balancing in this game at all at the moment, in my opinion. So the way I see it is, use what's best, use what you can, mix with things that are not as good, but you're still making things work with the other main things that you're using in the game, if that makes sense. So like having a Lady Death with another gun that you don't really use, that's going to help because you can switch to that advantage. So that's what I'm saying. Having this 2 piece, just this extra weapon damage for the signature, I just don't think it's useful at all, in my opinion. But that's me. Tip of the Spear, it's just not for me at the moment, man. It really isn't. 3 pieces, what does it give you? 10% weapon damage. Guys. So let's just sit back and think, right? 10% extra weapon damage right? 10% extra weapon damage. On this gear set, you need to equip 3 greens. Do you know how much you're missing out on a build? That's 3 more pieces left on your build that you can fill in now. Let me show you something, guys, okay? Let's just go, for example, let's go to, let's go to Petrov, right? 1 piece, say if you're using an LMG, 1 piece of Petrov is going to give you 10% LMG damage, straight away. And some of you might say, yeah, but the 10% covers all weapon damage across all the guns. But what gun are you going to be using? That's what you got to think. What is the main gun you're going to be using with that build? Is it an AR? Is it an SMG? Is it an LMG? Whatever gun it is, just use that brand set that's going to go towards that gun to give you that extra 10% if you want it. 10% LMG damage for 1 piece. I don't need to put 3 pieces on. It's that simple. So, you know, that's just an example of, you know, how this gear set to me is using a lot of pieces up. 3 pieces for just 10% weapon damage, when you can get that from a Sokolov, you can get that from a Petrov, you know, you can get that from the Fenris chest and all of that sort of stuff. Like, there's a lot of other things that you can go towards to get more weapon damage. We've even got the Walker's Harrison, which gives us, you know, that mini 5% weapon damage, but you compare that with the damage to armor. There's a lot of different ways of going about it to get different types of damage in the game with, you know, builds, pieces, all of that sort of stuff. So the way I see this right here is like, why? And I know this gear set was created quite a long time ago, so this is not a new gear set, but still, I think that they should just, you know, start to focus on the stuff that's not really being used a lot. And they can see that in the community. They know what stuff, you know, is not used. They know the things that we don't really put on our builds. For the 4th piece, the main talent of this gear set, what does it do? Okay, it's called Aggressive Recon. Dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds. So let's just read that one more time, okay? Dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds. Now, remember that 20%, okay? Increases your weapon damage by 20%. But you have to use a signature weapon to increase your weapon damage by 20%. And there's a time limit where that weapon damage only lasts for 60 seconds. So let's just give you an example, okay? Sadist. What does it do? It gives you 20% extra weapon damage to bleeding enemies. All you got to do with that talent is make someone bleed. What can we put on a build to make someone bleed right now in the game? The exotic chest piece. You pair them 2 together, that's an instant 20% extra weapon damage. Wicked. It gives you 18% extra weapon damage just for applying a status effect. You pair that with a bleed, you're going to be lasting for 27 seconds for the extra weapon damage. These 2 together is giving us damage. The backpack and the gun. Simple as that. You're pairing them together to get extra damage. I'm just giving you an example of what other things you can go towards instead of having to, you know, use a whole gear set just because it's based around a signature weapon to get extra damage out of this. Let's just give you an example, okay? System corruption. It's not just based around one thing here. We have armor on kill. We have destruct resistance, pulse resistance, and then we have the main talent, which is covering the medkit. When you pop it, it's going to give you bonus armor. It's going to give you extra weapon damage. You know, all of these certain things come with percentages and things that's going to be added to your build to make you hit harder and to just keep you alive. Tip of the Spear is based off of a signature weapon, 10% extra weapon damage, and refilling the ammo for the signature weapon. That's just how I see it. And I really don't feel like it's useful at all. What would I put on this gear set? So maybe if I was to have a little think, okay, 2-piece, right, for Tip of the Spear. Let's say 20% signature weapon damage, alright? Let's buff that. Give that a 20% signature weapon damage. That's what we need. That's what I think would, you know, make this gear set just a little bit better for them guys that want to use this. Okay, I'm just putting it across for the guys that want to use it. So maybe for the 3rd piece, this might sound a bit crazy and OP, but it's just the way I think. With this stuff, I come with the funny, you know, suggestions. But for the 3rd piece, maybe you could have like a percentage, like either 10% or 15% increase towards your specialization tree. So you know how you have the perks like what's the perk for Firewall Medkit? I forgot what it's called, but it actually increases the amount of, you know, duration you're healing for by 200%. So like maybe that could be increased like across your build with that third piece. So that third piece could go towards all perks on your tree increased by 15%. That's just an example, because if it's about signature weapons and if it's about the specialization, maybe involve that in it with itself in the third piece. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe have something like that. That's just a small idea. You know, there'd probably be better ideas, guys. Put in the comment section. I would really appreciate it if you guys could put, you know, some suggestions across onto this gear set and maybe what you think should be changed. I know, you know, it's a like 10% chance that these stuff are going to be changed, but it's just nice to talk about it and to see what you guys think. So yeah, third piece, maybe have that 15% increase on all perks across your specialization that you're currently using. So you can use any specialization. It's not towards, you know, a specific one. For the fourth piece, man, this is tough because they did, you know, put it around a signature weapon, so I don't really want to change the concept of that. I don't want to say this needs to be a crit damage gear set, you know what I'm saying? So I do still want to stay on the topic of how they made this gear set, but I just want to switch the stuff around. So you see how it says the signature weapon increases the total damage whilst you dealing damage? Maybe it could be like you see in Division 1 how we had the, what gear set was it? Alpha Bridge, right? We had Alpha Bridge where when you'll be shooting and your signature would pop, but it would be all three. So you had the resistance, you had the green one which helped you to heal, I forgot the name of it, and then you had the damage. So I think it's recovery link for the green one, wasn't it? Yeah, it was that. You have all three of them and all three would pop at different times. So that's what Alpha Bridge was. So maybe with this you could do something like after a kill with the specialization weapon, you get a talent added to your build, just randomly, straight away. It could be any talent. So after you get that kill, you're going to get Unbreakable. After you get another kill, you're going to get Efficient. After you get another kill, you're going to get something else. Like all of them talents could be, you know, switched around and just put across into this build and just randomly picked after you get a kill with a specialization. That's just an idea. I don't know, I just came up with it randomly. If I was to really sit down and think about this gear set and, you know, briefly understand what it does and then actually see what I can go towards this, then maybe I could come up with a proper idea. But that is my idea for the fourth piece. But yeah, man, this is tip of the spear in the game right now. Let me know, guys, if you're using this. If you're using this gear set still till this day in PvE, let me know. I would really appreciate your suggestions on what you would rather change on this gear set. If you thought what I said was good, just put your opinions, put your thoughts, put your feedbacks in the comment section below. I would really appreciate it. It does help out the channel. If you are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you enjoyed this series and you enjoyed this video and you want me to do more of this stuff, smash 100+ likes onto this video and I promise you now, I will not stop it. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Division Addiction, and I'm out, man.